Thanks again for attending. And I really hope you're excited for this topic because I am. And integrating space and conductor has been really helpful with a project I'm working on right now for work, like a personal project. So I'm super excited about how it all turned out. And yeah, I'm going to tell you about the project as well. I will talk about how to integrate the two because that is what this is about. And it is the important part of this webinar. But I also did want to talk to you about, to show you what I built. Um, just to give you an idea of what you can do as well. Because again, the point of this webinar is for you to connect to and see what you can build and what will help you in your work as well. And I'm actually super excited to continue building more integrations. And okay, I'm going to tell you, I'm outsourcing some of my work to thoughts and stuff like that. And I'm building like more personalized ones. And I'm super excited. Okay, so I'm going to get started. This is the recording. And hey, everyone, thanks again for joining our second developer workshop. And we set this one to be for 45 minutes, but it could be shorter than that. And hopefully I can get you out of here and then you can be motivated to go to things as well with Conductor and Supabase. So for this project, I wanted to talk about how to connect Supabase and Orkes Conductor. So you can have your database on Supabase and you can have it hosted. You can start with the free version, don't even have to pay for it, which is really cool. And I personally really like working with Supabase. And that's why I picked it for this integration. But I also wanted to, once I have the data in my database, I wanted to be able to do something cool with that data. And that's where the connection with Conductor comes in. And okay, so to start with this, I'm going to go to developer.orkescloud.com. This is the developer edition of Conductor. It's free, and so you can build your workflows with it. You can just make an account. And for this project, I wanted to get started with a pre-built template that I have. So this is a pre-built template on how to connect to Supabase. Connecting Supabase and Conductor is already pretty simple, but I wanted to make it even simpler because one of my things that I hate the most as a developer is setting up projects. I think it just takes a while and you have to figure stuff out, and it's just it can take a while, and I just want to get straight into building. So you can even right now import this template. So the template is super simple. If you click on use template, you'll see what the workflow looks like. It only has two tasks. One of them is get data from Supabase, and the other one just return the first 5 rows from your table. And what I can do with this template, once I make an account with Conductor, is just import the template from here, and then I can start working with it. But before I continue starting to work with it, I do want to show you what I have on Supabase, because you will need to make an account with Supabase as well. And so for this one, I already have an account. I'm using a free account. Actually, I think I don't have a developer account, but it's a free account with Supabase. And I'll go to my dashboard. I can go to my organization. Excuse me, I'm still with this. Sorry. It's been a month. I don't know. I think everyone is just getting spam now. So, okay. So this is my Supabase project. I have 2 databases. One of them is irrelevant, not really this project. But I am using stand-up function. And so if I click on it, you'll see what I have. So I have 2 tables, and you will see why. So if I go to table editor, so you can see here that I have some raw notes in my daily stand-up. This is for the project that I'll show you later. But yeah, the point is you can go to Supabase and create your own table and just add some dummy data in there or whatever you want to get started. And okay, so then when you go to Conductor, what you want to do is you want to be able to connect to, because let's say you have your table in Supabase and then you're like, okay, well now I'm in Conductor. What can I do to pull that data from Supabase and you know, like manipulate it or build it into a workflow? So what this template does is this first task here is what it is like. It creates that connection with the base, and I'll go into it as well and makes the selection. So like that's all you need really. This one task is pretty much what you need. Like this is just like a nice to have. But on that first task, you can just name it whatever you want. And then here is the important part. Like I already made I already have this done in um, Conductor for the template, but here is where the integration actually happens, and I'll show that as well. And we have two statement types. We have select and update. Select is just for selecting and grabbing data from the database, and updating is for anything else like updating a task or deleting, anything like that that you just want to make this. But yeah, so let's actually run that and see what it does. And the really cool thing about live demos is that things can go wrong. So if it does, we'll work together. Right now, what this does is it's running the template that I showed you in the beginning. And there you go. So it shows that it ran. And if I go, I can actually click on each individual one. Let's see what it did, which is really cool. So if I click on the task, they're going to get that picture so you guys can see it. Get data from Supabase. I have these kind of tabs here that I can look further into. So I can see what the input for this task was. And I see here I have integration name. Let me see if I can make that bigger as well. I have this integration name, Supabase testing. And I have my statement, select all from raw notes. And and you can probably see here, this is where the raw notes are. With here, just like a bunch of data. And honestly, that's it. And then what you see in the output, let me get that actually small again. Okay, in the output, it's just selecting all of the results from that table. And that's it. You made a connection to your database with Conductor. And I added the second task just to show you that you can play around with that data once you have it. So return first 5 rows, and then I take the input, all the database, or all of the data from the table in the database, and it's just returning the first 5. That's literally all it does. But you can add like more good stuff, and I'll show you. I said show you the project that I built. Now, this is literally it. Like if you want to leave the webinar and go build a project, all you have to do is go to Launchpad, go to click the Supabase, and you'll be able to like add your own data to that. But if I go to integrations, Supabase testing, so this is the integration that I made. You can make your own integration. This is like the important puzzle piece that connects Supabase and Orkes Conductor. So you can create a new integration by clicking new integration. And then you scroll all the way down to relational database. And you can add your own relational database here. And this is where you fill all the information from your database table. You can give it an integration name. For example, my integration. with Supabase, just name whatever you want, really. Then for database type, you pick Postgres. And database user, database password, um, these are fields that the values you'll get from your Supabase account. And so will database URL. And in the description, you can just anything you want, slide things, or just like describe it with some integration with Supla. And I will show you where you can get these three as well, like if you want to make your own. And if I go to my stand-up box, this is my database for this project. It's super easy. You just click connect. There's this button here. We can just click connect. And yeah, here you have your direct connection that you can copy and paste for your URL. What I would suggest doing is going to JDBC under the type and just infusing that because that's the right format for conductor. But you don't actually have to copy the whole thing. Like for when you're making your own integration, all you have to do is just copy up to Postgres, this stuff here, and put it in your database URL. Yeah. And then you put your user and your password, and that's it. We have to show this, of course, but you put your username right here, and then your password over here. Then you save, and you will have your integration. And once you have that integration, it'll show up here, kind of like the base testing. You make sure to activate it, that it's working. And then you just plug it into your task, your JDBC task. Kind of here, it asks for integration name. You just have to if it's empty, you just click on it, and it'll already have it pre-populate here once you have created it. And you select statement type select, and here's where you write your statement. So if I go back to Control and I import it, here's what I put. So I put select all from workflow input table name. And the reason why I did that is because I want to be able to put the table name on runtime. So here I can put raw notes, but I can also change it to a different table name if I want to. And that's it. That's really how you connect the two. You can build your own kind of like I showed you by creating your own integration, or you can building the workflow from scratch, or you can go to the Launchpad and select the template that I made for you. And then you can continue building up your workflow from there. When I was kind of motivated to connect the two because I've been reading a lot about AI recently, and one of the things that really resonated with me in terms of agentic using AI in your work is building personal tools to help me with my work. For example, I am really bad at getting my stand-ups. I always forget to post my stand-up, and we do have some stand-up bots at work, but I don't know, they just never work. I could never get into using them for some reason. And so I decided to build a tool that kind of works around how I work. And what I did for that was I just used the /mams in Slack, and I just made a new command or a new bot, and I just put I can do things like notes. I just finished the webinar and it was great. And then I click enter, and all of that entire note gets sent to my um, Supabase database, and it gets stored there. And so every morning, I have this, let me show you, this personalized stand-up workflow. So it runs every morning at 9 a.m. my time. I have it scheduled. And so what it does is I grab data from Supabase, and then I format that data for Slack, because we have like a certain way that we format uh, our just stand-up notes. And so that's what I did here. Just make sure it's formatted the correct way. Then I used an HTTP tag to post it to my Slack channel. And what I do after that is I save each and every stand-up note that I take back to Supabase. So you can do that as well. And here, if you look at the statement types, you will see that I'm using the update system, and I'm inserting into a new table that I made called daily stand-up. And I'm just adding the new value here. And what this allows me to do is now I can, so it does post my stand-ups every day without me having to do anything. And what I can do now is build on this workflow, and I can say like every week summarize, like take all these stand-up notes that got saved and summarize what I did the past week. And it can do that without my interference or anything like that. Or let's say, so make also a summary for every month of the things I did. And this is a really cool way to like keep tabs on what I have done the past month. You can put the past quarter or whatever you want. And it gets posted without you having to sit down and spend hours like thinking back like, oh, what I did, and like just everything is done for you, which is very cool. And then I can spend my time doing what I enjoy doing, which is planning these webinars and writing more blog posts. And I don't have to worry about this overhead. So this is where the Supabase connection and Conductor connection really got me excited, and I wanted to make like a blog post about it, and I wanted to make a webinar about it, because I'm really excited to see what other people are going to build with it. So yeah, like let me know what kind of ideas you're excited to build, because I'm definitely going to continue building on this, and I'm going to be writing more about how I'm building onto it as well. But yeah, it's super exciting. And I think that would be honest. That's the whole demo. It's a pretty quick. Yeah. So just again, if you want to play around with it, which I encourage you to, you can do the template. I have a blog post on Orkes slash blogs on like this whole template, and another one is getting published right now, I believe, on just how to do it step by step. If you want to integrate like your own and you want to build this whole template on your own from scratch. That's like super simple, connected to. I'm really glad that it's simple, because like I can build the workflows right now with that. Like super, like I could just get into the work instead of yeah, playing around with integration and things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what the integration is. Let me know if you have any questions regarding it, or if like you want me to get more into the stand-up bot and how that was built in a separate webinar, because I think that would be really cool. And also let me know if the webinar works for you, or if you prefer other like forms of I guess communicating between us. So you can either message me on here, or you can find me on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I'm just I think it's
down to half.
Yeah, it's just Maria Szymkowska. Just my name. And yeah, that'd be really fun. I believe we have another webinar next week, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm really excited for that as well. It will not be with me. It will be with a colleague of mine, which is very cool. Um, but yeah, let me, follow the integration goals and excited to see what you guys build with this. And so thank you so much for attending.